Mars spoke up, do whatever you want. Finishing his words, he impatiently said, all right, look at you just reaping benefits over there. Remember to treat me to a big meal when you get back. I'm hanging up now. With that, the screen in front of the chubby man flickered and disappeared. After the call ended, the plump man quickly pulled out his phone and muttered, shit, is there really an immortal level being? On the phone were numerous pictures of Lu Xing, with various news outlets enlarging and publishing his image, the number one genius in 10 million years of Sector 13. The chubby man furrowed his brows tightly, cold sweat breaking out as he rubbed his chin and muttered, really? Right near my place? Impossible, absolutely impossible. How could that even be? I must just be overthinking. The next second, he calmly put his phone away and lifted a coconut to sip from. Suddenly remembering something, he chuckled and said, oh right, the deadline I gave them last time. There's less than 2 days left. Why is there still no movement from those guys? It's about time I reminded them. Thinking so, he stomped hard on the sand for leverage and leapt into the air. His body shot upward, spiritual power blasting the shoreline apart beneath his feet. He curved his lips into a confident grin, bursting out in laughter. Ha 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 ha. Moments later, the chubby man suddenly appeared behind Cumberland. The commotion so loud that Cumberland turned his head in shock. The instant he saw who had arrived, his expression changed. He bowed respectfully and greeted, greetings, my lord. Behind Cumberland, more figures emerged, their faces uneasy. Lord, we sincerely apologize for our late arrival. The next moment, Cumberland and all the others dropped to their knees in unison, shouting in chorus, greetings, my lord. The chubby man frowned, his tone domineering as he demanded loudly, humph. The matter I instructed you to handle, how is it going? Cumberland looked up at him, sweat pouring down like a waterfall. This matter. He raised his hand, and instantly a large pile of subsequent crystals appeared. Floating in midair, the fat man pushed up his glasses and glanced at the crystals. The next second, his expression twisted with rage. He kicked the crate of subsequent crystals flying and roared, only this much? Are you joking with me? This is all you managed to scrape together in all this time? Do you take me for a fool, you worthless trash? Fury surged within him. His fists clenched tightly, terrifying spiritual power erupting from his body as he roared, do you think I'm some beggar you can brush off? Dark clouds swirled overhead, lightning flickering restlessly. Panic spread among the people. Immediately, they all cowed out, pleading desperately, my lord, please calm your anger. Just as his wrath was about to descend upon them, a voice suddenly rang out, please, wait a moment. Those kneeling looked up in shock at the speaker. Lin Jingyu stepped forward, stopping before the chubby man. Looking straight at him, she spoke firmly, respected guide, our blue star is merely a grade 1 resource star. We truly cannot bring out that much. She explained further, moreover, once before, our subsequent crystal reserves were already overexploited beyond the limit. Seeing that the man, who was in fact the guide, showed no reaction, Lin Jingyu could only bow deeply and plead, we sincerely beg your understanding, my lord. The guide frowned, curling his lips into a mocking sneer. You want me to be understanding? Then who will be understanding toward me, Ha! Inwardly, his eyes gleamed with malice. This woman is loyal to her leaders and always the most troublesome one. The last time I increased the quota 300-fold, she was the one who complained the most. Lin Jingyu held her ground, silently meeting his gaze. The guide sneered, veins bulging on his face as murderous intent flickered in his eyes. Fine. Then I'll use her to make an example. The moment he thought it, he vanished right before Lin Jingyu, startling her. In the blink of an eye, he reappeared directly in front of her, seizing her by the throat and lifting her high into the air. His cruel smile spread as he said darkly, listen to me, girl. Lin Jingyu struggled desperately to break free, her body trembling as her breathing turned ragged. Only broken syllables escaped her lips, ah. The guide's grip tightened as he laughed coldly. Do you really love playing the hero, leading the charge to die, is that it? Seeing the situation spiraling out of control, Everyone cried out in panic, "My lord, please spare her life." The guide turned toward the people below, his voice booming in warning, "You all want to die as well, don't you?" Cold sweat poured down Cumberland's face. He shrank back timidly, wanting to beg for mercy yet unable to form the words. The guide offered them no chance to negotiate. His voice thundered with threat, "I'll grant you 5 more days. If after 5 days you still can't gather the amount of subsequent crystals I require." He squeezed Lin Jingyu's throat harder, silencing her with pain. As if it wasn't enough, his grip tightened further. "Prepare yourselves to share her fate." Blood trickled from the corner of Lin Jinyu's lips. The agony forced a scream from her throat, "Aha!" At that very moment, a loud shout split the air, "Stop!" A streak of spiritual power slashed across, severing the arm that held Lin Jinyu aloft. The guide clutched his severed arm, wailing in agony. His body shook with rage as he glared in the direction of the attack. "Damn it! Who dares ambush me?" Suddenly, a colossal battleship emerged in the sky. The guide's face twisted in confusion as he shouted, "What is that?" He stared at the massive vessel, his body trembling violently. So many warships. Could it be? A great figure of the cosmos has come? The one who just told me to stop. Recognizing the insignia on the ship's hull, his pupils shrank to pinpoints. That's the emblem of the Black Dragon, the crest of the Black Dragon mountain family. Fear engulfed him. That was one of the supreme powers of the White Mist sector. Why would a fleet of the Black Dragon mountain family suddenly appear here? This was no different than nobles of the highest order suddenly descending upon a peasant's shack in the countryside. From within the ship, a furious voice thundered, "Kneel!" The guide's body convulsed, forcing him to collapse onto his knees. Cold sweat streamed down his face in terror. What kind of pressure is this? The next instant, crack, the oppressive force smashed his forehead to the ground, leaving him crying out in pain, "Ahhhhhh! My lord! Why?" At last, a figure descended from the warship. Standing before the guide, he asked coldly, "You are the newly appointed guide in charge of resource collection on star 828462? The kneeling man looked up timidly, his eyes fixed on the tips of the other's boots. The one who had arrived was none other than Count Luo Feng of the Black Dragon Mountain family. Seeing him, the guide immediately cowered and stammered, "Why yes, my lord." Luo Feng's face darkened, his voice like steel, "Then I was not mistaken. I am Luo Feng, Count of the Black Dragon Mountain family. You, an appointed guide, have abused your power for personal gain, lined your own pockets, and even attempted to manipulate and monopolize the market. On the homeworld of an immortal count, even death 1,000,000 times over would not absolve your crime." The guide's heart sank. Sweat gushed down his face as he trembled violently. "What? The homeworld of an immortal count? Respected Count Luo Feng, my lord, this must be a misunderstanding." He frantically tried to defend himself. "You must have mistaken me, I swear. I admit, I abused my authority for profit, I admit I lined my own pockets. But when did I ever monopolize the market of an immortal count's homeworld? Even if I had 1,000,000,000 lives, I wouldn't dare. I only skimmed a bit of profit from this insignificant, worthless resource star. That's all." Luo Feng's brows knitted tightly. He looked down at him with the cold, indifferent gaze one gives to an ant. "A misunderstanding, you say? And yet, are you not doing exactly that right now? Still dare to claim I'm mistaken?" The guide's eyes bulged in horror. What am I doing?" His voice faltered, disbelief spreading across his face. "Does my lord mean this garbage blue star is actually the homeworld of that immortal count?" "Impossible! Absolutely impossible! This planet hasn't even produced a single level 10. How could it give birth to an immortal level genius?" He broke down, tears streaming as he groveled, "My lord, there must be some mistake. Please, I beg of you, investigate carefully." Luo Feng's face was dark, and behind him loomed countless warships, fleets belonging to various great powers. He said coldly, "Raise your head. Look! The Baituahua family. The family of Gardner, Count of the Void Magi. The Ode family. All the renowned clans have arrived. Luo Feng's voice roared like thunder. Perhaps one man might err. But all of these families have gathered here for this matter. Do you claim they are mistaken as well? At that, despair engulfed the guide entirely. His body quivered uncontrollably as he stammered, How? How can this be? His thoughts turned to Lu Xing, and in sheer panic he slammed his forehead to the ground with a loud bang, crying out desperately, That man! That immortal count! Just what kind of earth-shaking figure is he?